This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Since we're all here and it's 3:05, looks like we can start the meeting for the Gig Harbor Civil Service Commission. Would you call the roll?
Jenny Richards.
Here.
Chuck Perry.
Here.
Tom Brown.
Here.
Melissa Herzog.
Here.
Kelly Busey.
I'm here.
Erin Neff.
Here.
And I'm Camille Borders. Thank you.
Maybe we should introduce Erin. I'm not sure everybody knows who she might be.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin. I work in human resources now, and I'll be backing Camille up as we move forward.
Okay, very good. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, so approval of the minutes. Did everybody receive the minutes in the email and have a chance to take a look at them?
Yes, I did. I looked at them.
And do I hear a motion or anything?
So moved.
Second.
To approve the minutes? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Very good, thank you. And regarding that, Camille, do I need to swing by and actually sign them? No?
No, not right now.
We'll just keep them and have you do that at some point, but I've just got record that you've approved, so.
Okay, sounds good. All righty, new business, amendments to the civil service rules, minimum passing scores for entry and lateral candidates. Kelly.
Yeah, Camille, if you give me presenter rights, I can pull it up on my screen. And I'm sorry, Tom, you won't be able to see it, I don't think, right?
No, but
But you
I've got a copy of it here.
Okay.
Yeah, we got an updated copy by email this afternoon, so
Yes,
or
made
this
it a little
morning,
cleaner.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have before you the proposed text amendment to the civil service rules. Per our discussion last meeting, we found situations where we'd have candidates that come to an oral board that don't score very well at all, yet we have kind of an implied obligation to continue them through the vetting process, which includes a background investigation, which is time consuming and potentially costly as well. So by establishing a minimum written test score, I think that's a little more fiscally responsible. We can kind of weed out some of the applicants that clearly won't be advancing into the process.
Which seems pretty reasonable to me. Any discussion?
I don't have any, well, there's just a couple of things that I would change. You know, I looked at a lot of reports when I was a sergeant and a lieutenant. And I just see some things I think could be cleaned up a little.
Okay.
But I agree. I think, you know, you come to a point where if you don't hit that 70, you just don't go on wasting time.
Well, absent any public comment here, I don't think it's unreasonable that you would be able to amend even what's on your screen here. We could do that on the fly.
Do you want to bring those things up, Denny?
Well, it's just little things like at the very beginning, in its discretion, I should think it should be at its discretion, the Civil Service Commission may establish minimum passing grade. And then at the end of that sentence where it says exclusive of veterans credit on entry examinations, because there's no veterans preference on promotion, is there, or did they change that? I see.
Camille would have to answer.
Melissa's nodding her head.
I can't see anybody when I'm sharing my screen, by the way, so if you could...
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure veterans credit applies on promotions. I think it's only, you can use it one time.
Right.
So,
On entrance.
Yeah.
That's the way it was. What, how many years ago? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that's changed.
when I was at Vancouver. Anyway.
Does the if any cover that, Denny, or
Exclusive veterans credit.
if any apply?
If any.
Yeah, well, I think people that grab this and want to read it because they didn't get to use their veterans credit would at least know that it's on entry examination is the only time that's available. That would be my only question was somebody takes a sergeant's test and then they say, well, you didn't give me my veterans, but well, you got it when you came to work. You know, we only do that on entry. It's something that needs to be looked at anyway.
Does that solve the problem? And for Tom's benefit, I just put in parentheses entry-level examinations.
Well, it could be for lateral too, right? Just entry into the department. So if they've never used a veterans credit preference before and they want to get hired by us, they can use their veterans credit with us. Yeah. We would just need to make that determination.
Right,
How about initial hiring examination?
right.
That would work.
There you go.
Yep.
Anything
And then
else, Dan?
in advance by the commission, the minimum passing score for any hiring or promotional exam shall be 70% of the maximum score.
Whoa, where are you at?
I'm down at the bottom of that paragraph.
The underlined?
Yes. Yes, it's underlined.
Right.
So you're saying remove the attainable?
Yeah, I think it just doesn't need to be there. The maximum score.
Yeah,
After-
the attainable is kind of a extra.
Yeah,
Well, I could interpret that as 70% of the maximum score being somebody else's score. Have I achieved 70% of the highest scoring person?
I think you're right about that, Kelly. I agree with that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from that. I guess I would also agree with that.
okay.
But the attainable, yeah, it makes it so there's no question. I mean,
Okay.
it seems a little superfluous in some ways, but if you read it the wrong way, it clarifies it.
And do we need to say again then after the application of veterans credit?
If they score a 65 and they get a veterans credit, it puts them above 70. So is that acceptable to this group? I think that's the question on this one.
I think you don't get the veterans credit until you attain the score of 70, then you add it on above that. So if you've basically failed the test by not getting 70, you shouldn't be able to get a 65 and take somebody out who had a 75. That veteran.
How would that outwardly look, though?
Well, it would look like you failed the test. I don't know. I don't recall anybody ever doing that in the civil service exams that I ran and worked with in Vancouver. Because if they didn't get 70%, they didn't go forward and get that veterans credit. First, you had to pass the test, and then you get the veterans credit.
So yeah, so it would be attainable score
Go ahead, Chuck.
prior to any veterans addition or bonus.
Like that?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
There you go.
So instead of after, it would be prior to the application of veterans credit. Is that the way you're proposing to read?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in other
Yeah.
words, they have to get 70% whether they're a veteran or not. And once they reach that 70%, then the 5% veteran bonus can go on to it.
I understand, and I think that your recommendation there is correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
I'm looking it up just to verify we can do that. So Let me just Google search this really fast.
Okay, why don't we go on with that while you do your search? Denny?
And in section C, when a minimum score is required, and I took an examination or any part, I put any portion of the examination. I just took out examination or any part and just put any portion of the examination. So it would say, when a minimum score is required for any portion of the examination, it shall be stated in the official bulletin and announced at the time of the examination.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Kind of cleans it up a little bit.
So as I've altered on your screen there, and for Tom's benefit, I'll just read the sentence. When a minimum score is required for any portion of the examination, it shall be stated in the official bulletin and announced at the time of the examination.
That works.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just waiting to hear from Camille. And a disclaimer here, I have a 3:30 phone call with Representative Kilmer, so.
They gonna move you to DC, Kelly?
Yeah, you couldn't pay me enough.
No
Olympia
kidding.
is a zoo enough. I couldn't imagine DC.
Yeah.
Okay, I pulled the RCW up. Let's see here. Let's see here. In all competitive examinations, unless otherwise provided in this section, to determine the qualifications of applicants for public offices, positions, or employment, either the state and all its political subdivisions and the municipal corporations, and let's see here. Competitive examinations shall give scoring criteria status to all veterans as determined by RCW 4104007 by adding to the passing mark, grade, or rating only based upon a possible rating of 100 points as perfect percentage in accordance with the following. So I think you can do it after.
Yep.
Right.
Passing
we're good.
score.
After
We're
the passing grade, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
You guys are good.
good.
Good answer. Okay, with those changes, do I hear a motion?
I would move to approve this, the changes on this
As amended?
section as amended.
Second,
Very good. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So there are none opposed, unanimous.
And Melissa, I will save and send you the updated version that I just, with those edits. And then mechanically, do we, I'll go ahead and edit. I have a clean copy of the civil service rules. Do I go ahead and replace that section and then we retitle it like version 2 updated?
Just revised and what dated it? You
Yeah,
revised?
we'll just put a cover letter on it and say revised as of 3/12/2021
Right.
on a
Yeah.
cover sheet. And
Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
and
just
she'll
send you
post it
the
on our website.
amended one here.
And then
Okay.
she'll post it on our website.
Okay.
Perfect. Item 2, under new business, update on the current recruitment process. Kelly?
Yes, sir. I'm hitting send, Melissa, on that document. Correct. So out of our last testing examination, we had 2 applicants, both passed their physical agility test and their oral board. They are now in the very early stages of their background investigation. So not really much to tell on that. But I understand we have like an additional 6 candidates in the queue. If one of those were to falter at the background process, and we would invite those 6 to test after that.
Good.
the relatively near future, aren't we going to do that anyway?
I don't know that we would host a physical agility and oral board process unless we had a vacancy. So in other words, if these two pass the background and we end up hiring them, there's no need to continue with the testing process.
Okay. Hi, Melissa.
I just had a question on that. Don't we want to have an active list though? Still, even if you do hire off these two?
Well, you could,
That was kind of my thinking on it, but
you could have an active list without going through the physical processes. You know, if they pass the written test, then they're on the list. And if they go further, then they have to go through the rest of the process.
But
It's
there's
a
no written test.
it's a PDP and an oral board that we have.
Yeah, we don't have a written test.
You don't have the written,
We don't have a written test.
oh. Interesting.
Not for laterals, for sure.
Oh,
Well, that's a fair point. Yeah, I guess, and we do have the ability to merge lists, so I guess it wouldn't matter if we have backgrounds going. I will say that we've had a change in kind of direction from the city administration that if we have 5 candidates on our list, we are to background all 5 of them. That would slow down our current hiring. So that is an argument to delay the oral board and physical agility process until after we make a determination on these 2 candidates.
well, right.
Yeah.
Once we get these two, wouldn't it seems to me like it would make sense to, you know, get a few more into the queue if we can, so that it doesn't delay the process if we lose another officer.
There you go. That's fair. So I'll work with Aaron on scheduling that after we make or break these 2 on backgrounds.
Very good.
yep. I agree.
Yeah. Any other business, old or new? Anything for the good of the order?
Mr. Chair, you may want to wish Melissa good on her new position. She's with us for 1 more week.
What
Wow.
position
I
is
was
that?
unaware. But what's new with me?
I'm still waiting my official actual letter, but no, I've given my notice. I accepted a conditional offer of employment with the Gig Harbor Fire Department. So my last day with the city is next week. I should have my completed stuff by Monday.
Oh, congratulations.
Have you been to the fire academy yet?
I'm not going to be a firefighter, but I could do it.
I know you can do it.
So yes, this is my last meeting with you all. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you. And it's been wonderful having you.
Thank you.
And good luck in your new position.
Just be glad I'm no longer a fire commissioner.
And I'll thank you, Melissa, for your organizational skills in helping us through this process. You've been all over it. So.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very good. On that note, do I hear a motion to call the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Okay. Tom?
Second,
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. I
I
still
guess
have all my
that's
fingers, so I can go back to my wood shop.
Oh.